Hello and welcome to the ARCS. We're live here from Armory Digital Super Speedway in Seattle, Washington for the running of the Starbucks 65. After Bob Verstappen got his first career victory at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, we now find ourselves at a new track in the Adrenaline Racing Cup Series, Armory Digital Super Speedway. Now, let's take a look at your top 10 qualifiers in the field. Starting on the pole, Andy Seville. In second, Mitch Barrier. In third, David Long. In fourth, Eddie Carlson. In fifth, Matthew Bussey Jr. In sixth, Ryan Just. In seventh, John Ross Stein. In eighth, Armando O'Reilly. In ninth, Bob Verstappen. Rounding out your top 10, Joffrey Weeds. Let's take a look at the rest of the competitors here and get right into the action here at the Starbucks 65. And we're live here at Armory Digital Super Speedway here in Seattle, Washington. Andy Seville is your pole sitter with Mitch Barrier to his outside. And we're going to get you through the long tri-oval here at Armory Digital till we get to the restart zone. As you can see, that green restart zone, kind of like Talladega where the start-finish line is outside of the tri-oval. And here we go, folks. Green flag is out, and we are about to get underway in the Starbucks 65. Good start for Andy Seville. Draws fairly even with Mitch Barrier, but David Long is looking to give some help to that bottom lane. Matthew Bussey Jr. will follow suit with that Ford teammate in the 99. And we've already got a car going 3 wide, as that 42, I believe, of John Hendricks has dropped it 3 wide already. But how about Andy Seville on that outside lane? Whoa, and John Hendricks drops below Matthew Bussey Jr. and makes it 3 wide. On the bottom, almost 4 wide now. Bob Verstappen, last week's winner. He's throwing all the caution to the wind here at this race, and he's looking to get another one. But I believe David Long's going to lead the lap here as they come around through the tri-oval to the extended start-finish line here. This is definitely going to be a decider like it is at Talladega. If you're leading in the tri-oval, you might not lead to the start-finish line. Oh, and Matthew Bussey Jr.'s in the wall. He comes down the track, nearly chop blocks the 48 of, I believe, Eddie Carlson, and he is definitely having some problems. But he's going to get shuffled back, and nobody's lost the draft here as you look through the pack there, through that quick rundown. But John Ross Stein is your leader. How important this win would be for John Ross Stein, as he missed a couple races early in the season, but definitely would be the equalizer for his 3rd season here in the Adrenaline Racing Cup Series if he could get a victory. But how about Tony Jansen, another storied driver in this series? After getting his first career win at Twin Ring Motegi last season, he's looking to make another playoff push here in Season 3 as he battles with John Ross Stein, but John Hendricks on the bottom. It's... Ooh, as that one car of Aiden King drops out of line and almost 4 wide for the lead, and that alternate Monster Energy car. Not going to be running very many races in that alternate scheme, but definitely a fresh look here at a new track. So got to give the new track a couple fresh looks as we've got some different schemes here for this race, as you'll see throughout the day and as we look through the field. But Aiden King on that bottom lane, he's trying to hope that that 2 car of Diego Tacone follows him, but I believe Diego Tacone has got other plans as he might try to pass Aiden King here on the straightaway. But we'll see who leads this one, but they have to get through the tri-oval first. As I've said before, this tri-oval will play a big factor in this race. But Aiden King in that alternate scheme is going to lead that lap, and we're 4 of 25 complete here in the Starbucks 65 here in Seattle. But Cassidy Reynolds on that bottom with Joffrey Weeds. How about Joffrey Weeds up here? One of the rookies that got a win earlier this season at Pocono Raceway, at another new track, so he's definitely the ace of the new track, it seems, here in Season 3. Ooh, but how about that 22 nearly on the apron? The 22 car of Sean Carson was hugging that blue line, and he still kind of is. How about that 24 car? A new slick scheme for that 24 Jade Animations car for Theophilus Morgendorfer Jr. Good-looking car for him, and that blue and white Chevrolet on the bottom lane there for Hendrick Motorsports, but Cassidy Reynolds with another alternate scheme up front there. Cassidy ran that scheme at Atlanta Motor Speedway and had some fairly decent luck, I believe. Might have gotten involved in an accident, but don't want to jinx that here today at a super speedway As we've got, 4 wide, Denzel Scott and that 24 are touching. Ooh, they're getting really racy up at the front of this pack. And I do believe all the cars that are in this pack do have the draft. Oh, we have a couple stragglers back there. Let's take a quick look. Ooh, that 12 car of William Donuts, the 83 of Andy Seville, your pole sitter, has dropped off the pace in the 10 car, I believe, of Matthew Bussey Sr. is back there as well. So Senior and Junior are back there, as Junior was in the wall, but Senior just dropped off the pace. But how about Sean Carson, as he was hung in that blue line earlier? Ooh, and I believe Diego Chacon barely kissed the wall up there on that top lane as they get really dicey going in through the corner here just to get a little loose, but they are absolutely flying through these corners, even with the restrictor plates that we do have on these cars. It's Quinn Porter now looking for the lead over Sean Carson. Will he get some help from that 3 car of Joshua Harrison? We'll have to wait and see. Have not seen any wrecks. I don't want to jinx it here, but so far so bueno here in the Starbucks 65. As look at that 34 of Jerry Funk. The yellow cars here today are really hugging that bottom line. And it's not like in NASCAR, where if you go below the blue line, it's a penalty. In the ARCS, if you go below that blue line, it's fair game. Whoa, as Darren Kiefer just did right there, as his left side tires kiss that blue line. And that's definitely the danger zone, but moves can be made on that bottom lane. Speaking of bottom lane, that 47 car, that white LSD car of Tyler Seville, and that 47, making moves, getting around Jerry Funk, the seasoned veteran and Season 1 champion Jerry Funk, I might add. As Draven Sandy looks to the inside of that 3 car. Joshua Harrison for the lead here, but we'll see who gets it through the tri-oval as Cooper Hones makes an aggressive move inside Tyler Seville. And I think that 3 car, Joshua Harrison's going to get it. So they cross the line, 8 of 25 complete here in the Starbucks 65. And while we've got a moment, let's take a look here at your fastest lap of the day. And the fastest lap of the day, Starbucks fastest lap, goes to Draven Sandy, who is our leader. So the fastest lap award goes to the fastest car and the car that's in front. So good job for Draven Sandy, but he's got a challenger there in the 34 of Jerry Funk. And Cooper Hones on that bottom, don't count him out. 3 wide for the lead. Draven on the outside, Jerry in the middle, and Cooper on the bottom. But Cooper will prevail with help from Darren Kiefer in that Coca-Cola car. And I believe that 93 car of Deacon Gentleman is up here as well. Deacon Gentleman has not had a good season. Deacon Gentleman's been dealt a really bad card here in Season 3, but in Season 2 he was really dominant. It was very uncommon to see him outside of the top 10 and not in a contention for the win every weekend, but he's up here now. We'll see if he stays and continues to become one of the contenders for this race victory. But how about that 83 car of Andy Seville has worked his way up inside the top 10. It was a fall from grace earlier for him in the race. No intention for the rhyming there, but Andy Seville is inside the top 10 here after being literally one of the last cars on the lead lap here. So good job for Andy Seville and that effort in that Dodge factory car. But speaking of manufacturers, I believe Dodge is going to lead this lap here with the Mustang in second and in third. Well, was in third, now in first. Robbie Margot in that 18 Snickers machine. Another alternate scheme for the driver of the 18. But holding off that 83 car, that Mountain Dew 83. Oh, and they get a little dicey there. Darren Kiefer and Benedict Schumacher playing a game of cat and mouse up in the top lane. I thought there was going to be an accident, but there was not. That's something I'm really surprised here that they have not wrecked, as we've seen a lot of 4-wide action. Ooh, as Darren Kiefer and Deacon Gentleman are literally at the high school dance. They're that close. They're clinging on to each other, but they do not wreck. As Robbie Margot still your leader, but that 83 car of Andy Seville is clinging on just about as close as Deacon Gentleman and Darren Kiefer were earlier. But how about Ryan Just? He's making just the right kind of moves here in this race to get himself up toward the front. And Andy Seville makes a move on Robbie Margot, but we'll see where the help comes. Will Robbie Margot get help, or will Andy Seville? We'll have to wait and see as we're on the backstretch. 11 of 25 complete here in the Starbucks 65. And that Mountain Dew car leading the way. But how about the Seattle skyline? As you can see, through some of these corners. If you take a look at the view of this race, just an absolutely beautiful view here in Seattle. We have not had a race in Washington State, but this is the first one that's come in the ARCS, so it's good to be here in Seattle, Washington. Oh, and we got a crash, folks. We have a big one. Oh, Cassidy Reynolds, Mitch Barrier, Joffrey Reed's Blubber Plumber. We'll have to get a view from his angle, but big wreck, and we're going to see who gets back to the line in first place. As how about that 88 car of Ralph Johnson? He started in last place. And we'll see if Johnson can hold on. Not Jimmy Johnson, but Ralph Johnson. He's probably related to Jimmy Johnson in some form or fashion, as he does drive for Hendrick Motorsports. But we'll see if Ralph Johnson or Bob Verstappen, last week's winner, can lead back to the caution flag. We got to get through this tri-oval. Oh, that 83, or not the 83, I should say. That 33 had some help from the 22, but I believe Ralph Johnson's going to lead us back under caution, and we'll get a replay of the accident in just a moment here at Armory Digital. And we're back here at Armory Digital. Let's take a look at the replay as they synchronize spin. It's almost like they're ballroom dancing here at Armory Digital, but Draven Sandy, Mitch Barrier, and Blubber Plumber all go for a pretty unique spin as Draven Sandy stuck on the embankment back there. As we can see him there, he was just vibing on the... Oh, and Blubber stuck as well. Blubber's trying to stick it in gear, but it will not go. Something's wrong in the gearbox of that car. But we'll have to get another view from Blubber's perspective. As you can see, he's pretty frightened on pit road. And we'll be right back in just a moment. And now let's take a look at your Blubber Vision cam here in Seattle, Washington. Look at that beautiful skyline, but Blubber Plumber's not seeing a beautiful skyline. He's just getting very dizzy here at Armory Digital as he goes for a long but painful slide to the infield. And he rests on the blue line, not the yellow line here, but the blue line in Seattle, Washington. And he is absolutely beached and looks very frustrated as well, as his day is pretty much over here in Seattle. And we're back here at Armory Digital Super Speedway, and let's take a look at the drivers out of this race. The 00 of Draven Sandy will finish in last place here today. In 40th will be the 27 of Blubber Plumber after we just saw that Blubber Vision camera. In 39th will be the 44 of Joffrey Weeds, and nobody else has retired from this race or a lap down, so fairly impressive, but not very nice for those drivers out of this one early. Well, fairly early, I should say, as we're past the halfway marker in this one, but 16, actually now 17 of 25 complete here in Seattle. And Ralph Johnson, still your leader, but Bob Verstappen is there. Last week's winner, can he join Ricky Quinn on being the only other driver in ARCS history to win back-to-back races? We'll have to wait and see. But that 22 of Sean Carson's going to try to make a charge, and speaking of charging, we've got two Pennzoil cars hooked up to... Well, we did have two Pennzoil cars hooked up together, but Ryan Hubb's going to make an aggressive, selfish move to the bottom and hopefully get the lead here. And poor Ralph Johnson, he was hoping he would at least hold on for a little bit here, but the dodge of Ryan Hubbs on that bottom lane is going to take the lead here. And Ryan Hubbs is a winner this season. I believe he was your winner at Atlanta Motor Speedway, if I remember correctly, but maybe remembering that one wrong. How about that 40 car of Chris Hergeson, the rookie, as the 14 car of Ryan Hubbs went up to block the 22, but washed up the track. And that 40 car of Chris Hergeson trying to hold off the seasoned veteran of Andy Seville, and Andy Seville's been all over this race course, as Andy Seville's been to the back, the front, and everywhere else in between. And we'll see if Andy Seville can maybe hold on to try to collect a victory here today. But that 21 car of Richard Morphy on that bottom lane is going to try to challenge Chris Hergeson with some help from Sean Carson. William Donuts, I believe. Sean Carson was in the 12 last season. But a lot of jumbling throughout the pack as we are 19 of 25 complete here in the Starbucks 60. And now things are starting to heat up at the front as you see. Oh, and Ryan just kisses the wall. He just kissed the wall. Ooh, as that 17 car and 54 were dancing on the bottom. But the 72 of Ryan I saw him kiss the wall, I believe off of turn 2, as we're on the backstretch now. And just look at the banking here in Seattle. It's absolutely insane, as these cars are absolutely on edge here at Armory Digital. We're definitely glad to have Armory Digital come aboard in Season 3, and we hope that this can remain on the mainstay on this schedule and hopefully become a true race that we come to every season, but we'll have to wait and see. The race is not over, the product is not finished, and a lot of drivers are thinking the same thing as they want to get their way up to the front, as we see a lot of drivers dancing around near that blue line. As we've said before, blue line is not out of bounds here at Armory Digital, as Michael Redinger in the Interstate Batteries Toyota is your leader. Oh, and we got a caution, folks. We have a caution. Richard Petty's back out on track, and John Ross Stein with major rear end damage. And we'll have to take a look at the accident, but we'll see who leads back to the caution flag, as Tyler Seville in that LST number 47 is leading, but we're only going to get a couple laps left. We'll maybe get a 1 or 2 lap dash, and we'll see who leads back to the stripe. And I believe it will be Andy Seville, or Tyler Seville, I should say, not Andy Seville, as we see the smoke clearing there, but we'll get a replay in just a moment here at Armory Digital. And we're back here at Armory Digital. Let's take a look between Jerry Funk and Benedict Schumacher, the rookie. Oh, and they squeeze Cooper Hones into the wall, and John Ross Stein goes along for a ride. And that's your slow spin to the bottom of the apron, like it was earlier. We'll see if anybody gets beached, and oh, Cooper Hones gets beached. And that'll be an instant teleportation to the infield care center, but we'll get back to the action with only a couple laps remaining here in Seattle. And we're back here at Armory Digital Super Speedway. We're going to have a 1-lap dash for all the prize money here at Armory Digital Super Speedway. Tyler Seville is going to lead us to green in that LSD car. He was the winner at Daytona. The 11 car of Denzel Scott has not won in the ARCS. He's been in it 3 seasons. Will he shake off the bad juju? We'll have to wait and see. And Tony Anson, how about Tony Anson, another seasoned veteran? Will he be able to collect the victory? We'll have to wait and see. 1 lap remaining, 2.66 miles around this super speedway in Seattle. Who will collect the victory? We'll have to see. Tyler Seville is your leader currently, but Denzel Scott is there. Michael Redinger in tow, who's going to drop to the bottom. All these drivers trying to get up to speed. Tony Jansen with the optimal line here. He'll get the toe off of Denzel Scott and probably drop to the bottom. Will Tyler Seville block? That is the question. Darren Kiefer's there as well. Only a couple corners remaining here at Armory Digital. Denzel Scott. Oh, he's there! Denzel Scott's going to make a move to the bottom. He drops in front of his Toyota teammate. Oh, and Denzel Scott, will he shake off the demons here at Armory Digital? He's got 3 cars 3 wide behind him. Denzel Scott coming off turn 4, off the tri-oval. Denzel Scott's going to win here at Armory Digital for his first career victory. Denzel Scott does it with 1 lap remaining. Congratulations to Denzel Scott on his first career victory. And oh, by the way, you're in the playoffs, bud, so good job. And I believe your highest finishing rookie in the field was the 21 of Richard Morphy, who got 4th place. So we'll take a look at where everybody finished, but congratulations again to Denzel Scott in Seattle. After an exciting finish here at the new Armory Digital Super Speedway on the schedule, Denzel Scott collects his first career victory in 3 seasons, breaking one of the longest winless droughts in ARCS history. Good job to Denzel Scott, and he's in the playoffs, folks. In second, we had Tyler Seville, who came up short and led to that almost overtime finish, but gets second. In third, Michael Redinger with a very good showing. In fourth, the highest finishing rookie, Richard Morphy. In fifth, Season 2 champion, Darren Kiefer, with a solid top 5 day. In sixth, Tony Jansen, who was third on that final restart, but got shuffled to the outside. In seventh, Andy Seville, he had a pretty up and down day, but gets a top 10 result. In eighth, Sean Carson. In ninth, William Donuts. And rounding out your top 10, Ricky Quinn. Let's take a look at the rest of the competitors and where they finished here today. And we only had 3 drivers out of this one at a super speedway. Very impressive. And only 1 car a lap down. That was the 43 car of Cooper Holmes. But all in all, good race at Armory Digital Super Speedway. And we'll hopefully have this track in Season 4, but we'll have to finish this season first, and we'll see you next weekend at Phoenix Raceway. So hope to see you there, folks. And again, congratulations to Denzel Scott.